Thank you for joining us on the live stream. Much appreciated. He's fixing it. It's perfect. Sounds good. Anyway, I wanted to take a minute to talk about this beautiful building, the NAASR building that we're in. And Judy Saryan, who's on the NAASR board, is going to join me in 1 second to tell us a little bit about the building. I hope some of you noticed the statue from Michael Aram that was donated by Michael Aram downstairs. Is there still an echo? So feel free to take pictures, tweet it, put it on Instagram. I highly recommend it. But Judy Saryan is on the board of NAASR, this building we're in today, and she worked tirelessly to raise money to build this new building right before COVID, right, Judy? So she's going to take 2 minutes, she promised me, to tell us a little bit about the building. Judy, come on over.
Thank you, Zayla. Yes, thank you, and welcome all to our Vartan Gregorian NAASR building, which was fortunately finished before COVID. We had the grand opening in 2019, and we had several events, and then we had to, of course, shut down in 2020. But we're very happy to welcome you here today. We just reopened on April 1st with a children's event. The very new book by by Nora Kayserian about Zabel Yesayan, the children's book. So I just wanted to tell you just a couple of really great tidbits about the building. It was named after Vartan Gregorian because he's a great educator, and also because of his involvement. He was the president of the New York Public Library. Here at NAASR, we have a rare book library, almost 40,000 volumes. And this rare book library is open to anyone who's doing research. So we have a fabulous librarian, Ani Babayan, and any work you're doing, contact her or Mark Mamigonyan, and you can set up times and to come in and do research. Now, the building is open Monday through Thursday, so you can come anytime. Ring the bell. We keep the door locked just for security purposes, but ring the bell, somebody will answer. We also have a bookstore. It's on the first floor. It's not open today. Again, it's open Monday through Thursday, starting at 10. And that bookstore has over 1,200 titles, most of which are in English, but many of which are in Armenian. So please feel free anytime to come and browse. The bookstore is great. And we have the beautiful Michael Aram's sculpture outside. Please spend a minute to take a look, take pictures. We have the alphabet wall, the Ipen Kim. The kids were very excited when they were here on Saturday, April 1st. They were all not only reciting the Ipen Kim, they were singing the Ipen Kim. So that was it was a very beautiful moment, wonderful reopening. So as you can see, we have 3 floors, we have a solarium. Enjoy your day, enjoy your conference. We're very happy you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy. Much appreciated. I also want to thank the New England Committee for putting this weekend together. A lot of people here that need to be thanked, but I want to especially thank Tamar Shamasian for her tireless, and Lily, Kathy, Judy for hosting us today. A lot of people to thank. Anyway, let's get this show on. You have the timeline in front of you, so we have a little busy morning, but we hope to break for lunch at noon. So we're going to go straight through. At this point, I want to invite Silva Khachigian, who's our interim AIWA president, to give us some updates and a couple of words. Thank you, Silva.
Well, good morning to all these pleasant faces here and to all of those who are joining us on the airwaves of social media elsewhere. Very big welcome. Thank you for being here with us, and for our members who have been here with AIWA since its inception, and who diligently and actively support us, and to the new faces that I'm seeing today, who introduced themselves to me yesterday and this morning. Truly, I extend a very warm welcome. After 2 years of being forced onto the online virtual meetings, you begin to yearn for this face-to-face, in-person meeting with the people you care about. And the only thing at that time, in the past, when we used to do in-person meetings, was what we worried about was how the microphone was working. But now, after 2 years, the most quote phrase was, you are on mute, you are on mute, you are on mute. Instead of, I don't know if anybody remembered years and years ago when the new cell phones had come out in the year 2000 or something, and there was the ad that said, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Now it's, you are on mute, and I'm tired of hearing I'm on mute. So I'm going to speak to you today in person, and I'm very happy to do that. I do also want to thank the New England affiliate, and especially chaired by Tamar Shammasyan, for organizing this, and to board member, actually, Zella Astarjan, she's also from New England, who took on the responsibility to hold and host and welcome you to this year's annual meeting in person, in this lovely location. So one more round of applause, please, to Tamar, Zella, and the entire group who's been working on this. The purpose of this meeting is really to give you all an update on the state of the organization, to share some highlights of the wonderful work the affiliates have been doing, even though they've been constrained for the past 2 years with COVID and the pandemic that has kept us all indoors with no in-person events. And I also want to let you know that this also will provide a different perspective of our mission in action with a guest speaker, and also to present you with the board election results toward the end. And I'm excited to be here today. We grow and scale successfully with your passion, your faith, and trust in the people that you elect to get the work done. You are an integral part of our story, and we need you and your ideas as much as you need us to realize your individual and collective vision to connect and elevate Armenian women wherever they may be. When we are done, I hope you will be inspired and motivated to challenge yourselves to be the best ambassadors you can be. Each of you can contribute to the success of AIWA. Each of you is a member of the media, because social media, which is a large part of our lives today, is the media. So spread the news of good work that is being done by AIWA, spread the news of our mission, comment on Facebook, Instagram, tweet, wherever your social media outlets are. Hashtag us, because with every comment, every hashtag, if it's a like or every sharing of what we do, you drive up the engagement. So your voice through social media really matters. And last but not least, we are here to grow as leaders. So let's focus on the strength of each other, see ourselves in the mission of this organization, and without taking much more of your time, let's connect, engage, learn, and lead. So thank you for the opportunity to come up here and to have this in-person meeting. Zella?
Thank you so much for these inspiring words. And Christine and Laura, please, I don't know if you noticed the Michael Adams statue downstairs. We should just take pictures and share on Instagram. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, without not much ado, we'd like to go over the affiliate reports at this point. So Laura Dertardian is going to join us first, and she's the chair of the San Francisco affiliate. Thank you, Laura. Come on up.
Good morning. Laura Dertadian. I'm actually one of the founding members of the reestablishment of the San Francisco chapter back in 2011. So I'm very grateful to be here today. So you'll see our report here, and I think we only have 2 minutes, and so I'll just share a couple of highlights. Last year was funny. I was talking to Tamar yesterday around how a lot of us were really exhausted last year because 2020 we had a lot of Zoom meetings as well as discussions about the war. San Francisco chapter actually played, I think, a super integral role in a lot of the efforts to support what was going on in Artsakh and in Artsakh at the time back in 2020. And so there was a level of exhaustion, but we still did accomplish a couple of things, including things like meeting in Carmel. This is the type of stuff, by the way, that if you guys come to California, envision yourself doing these amazing, wonderful things. Not that this isn't amazing, but you have the Carmel and the Napas of the world. It's a horrible environment to be in. We had an art gallery and poetry reading, and as a result, we ended up establishing a scholarship by a famous author, Tamar Hovhannisyan, thank you, which was amazing. It's been an amazing journey getting to know her. We've continued to establish multiple scholarships. We did fitness and games, yoga, which was really wonderful. We've continued to support Merhuis and the girls over there around learning English as well as computer science. We also had a meeting with the state minister of Artsakh in October, participated in the Orange County conference, and then we also did a couple of other events, including co-hosting Gate to Heaven by Jivan Avitisyan. There was actually a screenwriter who was a female, and no one was asking her questions, and of course I was like, you know what, we need to highlight the female screenwriter in here, so we did that. And so you can see the rest here. In relationship to what we've accomplished this year and where we're going forward, I do want to call out Women in Art and Song, which is an effort in which our wonderful Vika over here is helping spearhead. She actually did a major training on gender bias, so I highly recommend if you haven't already spoken to her about it, please do so. And then moving forward, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do a couple of gatherings here and there, and also a very special story. Christine and I had the opportunity to meet with Lucille Abkar, who is the granddaughter of Diane Abkar, and she has since passed away, and so we're working right now at the moment on an endowment from her estate, and so that's essentially what we've been working on. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Very inspiring. I love the Lucille Abkar story. Your trip to go see her, it's just wonderful. Well done. Tamar. So Tamar Shamasian is the chair of our New England affiliate, and I'd like to invite her at this point to say a few words about New England's accomplishments.
Thank you. Thank you. I think, as Laura said, 2021 was a year of recovery for a lot of us after a very challenging 2020 where we had to pivot to online programming, and we ended up pouring our heart and soul into supporting the war effort in Armenia. So 2020 was a quiet year for AIWA New England. We did have an IG live event, which that's when we started experimenting a little bit with that here. And we did have an in-person holiday gathering, which was still iffy with the COVID situation. So 2022, we've already started it with a bang, thanks to our sister affiliate, San Francisco, and the successful IG Lives that we had a couple. We had a scholarship one, and we had the Fearless Female series, which we want to continue. And we really like working with other affiliates. So I've said this before, and I will reiterate today, you know, whether it's Chicago, New Jersey, or LA, and once we team up, I think we're even more successful. So we have several things lined up for 2022. Domestic violence is important, is real, and is in our backyard. So we are planning for an in-person fundraiser, a fun Zumba event where we will be raising funds for that cause this year. And we have several educational webinars as well, whether it's within the financial literacy, navigating the college admissions process, and pathways to legal, how to break into the legal industry. So these are mainly what we have for now, and a couple other IG Lives, I think. Christine here is our IG Live queen, I call her. She comes up with these ideas and rallies us, and together we like working on those IG Lives. Well, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Tama. We had a really fun one, Christine, the Next Gen group. I thought that was a lot of fun. And by the way, we have a Next Gen group at AIWA that I help organize. Anybody wants to join that group, please let me know. Okay, next, I would like to invite Lisa Stepanian, the chair of our New Jersey affiliate, to give us an update. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be here with you. I'm Lisa Stepanian and a proud AIWA member since 1992. And in 1992, when I met all the elite Armenian women at the London conference, it gave me the whole courage to come back home and founded the New Jersey affiliate with a group of ladies who believed in the AIWA's mission. At this time, we had several several events during the year for last 25 years. But as it's time to transition, and we did have a direct attack with the COVID that affected us. And we have Elizabeth Akan here, who did a great job of taking care of during the COVID time and after. So I stepped in recently and hopefully to make sure that the chapter will kind of revive the chapter and will do beautiful things, and the New Jersey women who are interested will benefit from everything that AIWA offers. At this time, no promises. We'll try our best, and hopefully next annual meeting we have good things to celebrate with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And the other reports for Los Angeles and Chicago are in your agenda. Unfortunately, people get sick, and anyway, some people couldn't make it today. At this point, I would like to move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the scholarship report. Barbara Magarian, our AIWA founder, was unable to join us today. So Tori Harajian, our AIWA treasurer, is going to give the scholarship report, and then she's going to stay on to give us the treasurer's report, okay? So we need to get this show moving. That's why I don't want her to go up and down. So thank you, Tori.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm just filling in for Barbara here, going over our scholarships in the 2021 to 2022 academic calendar. So last year we raised $81,000, and we're able to give out scholarships to 53 women. There's 2 new scholarships from last year. There's one in Eva and Jack Mazorian's name, and there's one in Arpane Karajian's name, who's my grandma, so that's exciting. So from there, this year we're hoping to increase our scholarships above the $81,000 from last year, and we're already right on the way. We've been able to get $10,000 from the MyRack Foundation as a grant, and another $5,000 thanks to Lucine Yechzarian. So we're really just looking to up our scholarship fundraising for this year so we can give more scholarships out. Then just looking over at the publications report, which is on the next page. We sold 12 different publications last year, and the books are available through NAASR, so it's kind of a nice little connection there. There was a $1,000 grant to Nora Kasarian for the publication of an illustrated children's book, which is kind of new for us to be doing, but definitely exciting to be expanding our publications. Last year we raised just about $6,500 for book sales. You know, and we netted about $3,100. So, you know, pretty good profit on that. So the activities that we're planning for in 2022 with publications, possible ebooks that we're looking into, working with other organizations interested with similar goals. And, you know, we'll continue to collect biographies and info about Armenian women. And, you know, in 2022, we're just going to continue to promote our book sales. So that's kind of what's going on with the scholarships and publications. Then we'll go to the finance and membership report for 2021. In 2021, we brought in just over $200,000. About half of that was from the symposium, since that was a really big fundraising event that LA hosted, just over $100,000 there. You know, and then there's just general donations, right under $50,000, scholarships $16,000, and you know, you can look at the rest, the smaller pieces. Then we look at the expenses. In 2021, we actually did have a net loss. We did not make money in 2021. You know, general expenses were just under $70,000, which does, you know, look a little high. That kind of includes marketing expenses, web-related hosting, things like that, bank fees, office fees, rent, insurance. All those little things really add up that keep AIWA running. So that is, you know, why we need to bring in more donations for the general, you know, running of the organization. And then you'll see we awarded, you know, scholarships, the cost of the symposium, you know, what we donated to the Women's Support Center, professional fees, legal fees, all of those things. And then going down to membership, in 2021, at the end of 2021, we had just about 200 members. So for membership, we stopped sending out auto renewals for membership due to COVID based on that. So we are a little bit low in members where we typically would be without reminding our members to renew. So if you haven't renewed, please, you know, renew or join. If you're not a member, we'd love to have you. I'm sure we'll talk more about membership later in the meeting, so someone, you know, give you the benefits of that, and you can look at kind of the breakdown of where our members are. Mostly we're in California and up here in New England, but, you know, we're always looking to expand. So that's what I have for you guys. And then I think I'll give it back.
Thank you, Tori. Well done. Appreciate you jumping in last minute for the scholarship report. Speaking about scholarships, we're going to have a big scholarship push coming up. As you know, we get so many applications every year. And for instance, last year we had 250 applications, and we were able to help, I think, 60, 70 students, and we'd like to obviously help more people. So if anybody wants to help us donate or establish a scholarship, please come see one of us. And we're going to be sending letters and a big push very soon. Okay, at this point, let's move on to the marketing update portion. So Lily Arslanyan joined us as our marketing person, when was it, earlier this year, and she's been tremendous. As you can see, we've really updated all of our marketing materials and a lot of webinars coming up and events. So she's been very, very busy, and we're very thankful for Lily to be with us. Anyway, Lily, why don't you come up and give us your update?
Hi, everyone. 1 second, let me open this. Okay, so I made a PowerPoint and I'll present it. Okay, so I've been working on marketing with Milka most of the time, who unfortunately isn't here today, but I'm going to be speaking for the both of us. And if there's any questions, or I just want to always say, if there's anyone that wants to come and share and contribute ideas, like please always reach out to me because we're always looking for inspiration from all of you. So we're excited. Okay, I'll start with AIWA's 3 pillars. As you all know, our mission at AIWA is to connect, inspire, and engage Armenian women from all over the world, which makes me so happy that we're all here today and focused on that. So we focus on education, health and wellness, and careers and leadership. And I know that we touched on scholarship with education, but especially for the last 2 pillars, we're really looking in 2022 to push health and wellness, even beyond domestic violence, which has been our main focus, as well as careers and leadership, like really looking for resources and helping our peers and students, young Armenian women, find those materials that they need to succeed. So some new processes that we've been working on with marketing include beyond the event planning of IG Lives, webinars, and in-person events such as this one, which is honestly the first big central meeting since the start of COVID, which is exciting. We have a save the date tracker that we created and we've shared with all affiliates. And that's where everyone that it has been shared with can submit ideas and tentative dates, things that they want to contribute, that they'd like to bring to AIWA, either on an affiliate level or just to the central board, an event that they want to contribute and help run. So affiliates add events to the Save the Date tracker, which is often 6 weeks prior to the event because we've really been focused on implementing a timeline and getting really organized. They complete the intake form, drop assets in a Google folder. I share a communications plan with them. We're really trying to get very organized in terms of communicating between us as a liaison and our external agency. We also have a feedback survey that we've implemented to really get affiliates' perspective and always find how we can improve beyond each event. We've also been working on a newsletter, so we have an intake form that we've developed for that. We've modified it this year to include affiliate submissions, if anyone wants to contribute blog posts, articles, things that they've found. I know recently we included a blog post submitted by Barbara on like new art publications that were out. So things like that, whenever you want to contribute, you can always submit the newsletter intake form and we can add that in. Beyond that, we have the website developments that we're also continuously working on. We have new banner updates and homepage updates. So beyond that, we've also been asking for affiliate pages from each region to really keep their pages as updated as possible, because with new membership pushes, we want all of those affiliate pages to be what stands out. So all of your achievements, just like in the reports that were given, your photos, everything like that, we'd love to update to the website. And for every change request, we also have an intake form that's been completed and a Google form, so everything should be super streamlined in this sense. In terms of communications, we've been developing communications with our agency, Clio, over the course of this year. It's really strengthened. We have daily process check-ins with them, weekly meetings, and with everything that happens, our team at marketing approves emails, creatives, branding, and that's something that we'd also love your perspective and opinion on. So if you guys ever see something and you're like, I have an idea for social media, I have an idea for this, we'd love to hear it. In terms of that, we also have something to engage our affiliates as well, affiliate heads, which are the quarterly meeting workshops. And so that is the time that we love to solidify, discuss upcoming ideas, future programs, initiatives that you're interested in and looking to develop, as well as a forum for affiliates and our agency to communicate with each other. Because I think that there's not as many opportunities for you all to see Clio and who's really doing that marketing and social media. So we have that. Then we have email campaigns we've been working on. I'm sure that you guys have been seeing those almost every day. So membership encouragement emails have been going out post-event to all registrants who don't carry AIWA memberships to really push new people joining and making sure that we're welcoming everyone into the community. We have a personalized draft email that we just recently sent out, I think, to the board to be sent out to all community members and peers to accelerate engagement. And with every email now, we have a donate button at the bottom. So if you ever want to forward those along, or if you yourself find yourself touched by something that was the topic or a webinar or whatever link has been sent out, donations are really streamlined now and accessible from every email. So some of our next steps that we'd love to focus on are updating our affiliate pages, uniformity and content and photos, anything that you guys want to share with us for the website, as well as even any social media pages, updating all of our images on the website, and working on campaign and branding updates for Thrive and member spotlights, which we've been working with Christine, our member affiliate, as well. So those are some exciting things that we want to focus on. I have a couple KPIs as well. So this year we have over 4K donations. We brought in 3,408 from Wild Apricot, and then from our IG Lives that the member affiliates have been running, we have over 1K. We had 9 events from, this is the past business event, so there have been more now, 2 IG Lives, 7 webinars, and so many more to come. Great options that you can all see on the Save the Date tracker. And in terms of website traffic, I'd love to direct your attention to the upward trends, basically all over. We've had a lot of new users, big impact, so that's been exciting for us. Thank you. There's more sessions, longer sessions, they're staying longer, people are engaged and really reading the content that we've been putting out over the past quarter, so I think that's been really exciting for us. In terms of social media KPIs, we've had over 80 social campaigns, over stories, Instagram posts, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So we're really trying to stay active and reach as broad an audience as we can, particularly with students, youth, beyond who we know in our regular circles. So in total, we've had over 300 posts and stories on all of these social media pages that are incredibly active. 6.5K follows this quarter, over 310 new follows. So once we've been doing this push with marketing to get really active, we have been excited to see a lot more engagement. 179 new followers on Instagram, 72 on LinkedIn. So that's been really great for us. And in terms of engagement, 68K was a massive number for us when we saw it. It's just really exciting. We have people sharing and commenting and liking, and we encourage you to keep that up because it's so exciting for us to see. So in terms of increases, we have over 10K impressions from last quarter and over 500 new reactions. So that's amazing, and we're so grateful for your support and working to help our social media and elevate those. So similarly, we have some email KPIs. We've had over 40 campaigns go out versus last quarter there were 20. So we're really trying to be more active and involved in that sense. 93K emails sent total versus 37K previously. So we're trying to target every base, email pushes, membership pushes, every single event following up, and so that's been really great for us. We have a very high open and click rate, which is exciting because our click rate in particular is when people open the emails and genuinely read them and go to our website. They click on the links, they want to watch the videos that we're putting, they go to our YouTube. So that's a very big increase of almost 1,000. So that was great for us. And then in general, this is all what today has been about, promoting AIWA membership within our community, within our peers, within people who might not be familiar with AIWA otherwise. So some notes that we had about what really we believe in AIWA membership stands for, and we'd love more opinions and everyone's perspective on more ideas that what AIWA means to them. But a couple of lists that we came up with were networking opportunities with a passionate group of talented Armenian women, the opportunity for community outreach and creating an impact, adding value to the lives of women and children, not just in your neighborhood, but really all over the world, really in Armenia, where it can be hard to target the group that you're looking for. There's exposure to the leading voices addressing the advancement and well-being of women. There's the opportunity to lead initiatives to advance the gender equality agenda for all Armenian women. There's leadership role opportunities. You can serve on AIWA's board of directors, and through there make so many amazing connections and networking opportunities with that, as well as discounts on book purchases. So there's a lot for us. In terms of thinking ahead, that's what today's meeting, really we hope to come away with a lot of big ideas, a lot of excitement. We're constantly brainstorming new initiatives, and please approach me if you have any ideas, reach out to us, reach out to anyone at marketing, and we just would love to hear everyone's opinions. We know you guys all have so many ideas, you've been so active, all the affiliates, and we just want to keep it up because it's been wonderful. Thank you, it was very long.
Great job. Isn't she wonderful? We're going to miss her. She's going to law school in August, and we need Thank you so much for an amazing job. You're going to be a great lawyer. But we're also looking for her replacement. So if you know anybody down the road who wants to take this on, but you stay here. We're doing very well in terms of our timeline. Yes, I was going to say, thank you. We think alike, Silva. I was going to say, since we have Lily here, any questions on marketing or even the financial report? Let's take 5-10 minutes. Yeah, hi. Go. What about TikTok?
Oh, what a great idea! I myself don't have TikTok, but I know, especially within the people in this room and maybe in your communities, your kids, your friends, that would be great. And if you know of any people that want to share some content on TikTok, then please reach out to us. That would be so much fun. And I'm sure it's an amazing audience that's like so active on TikTok. So that's great.
Yes, Laura.
I just want to call out that I think that was a significant opportunity, just seeing the 6.5 followers.
Yeah.
And we have 200 members. There's obviously a huge gap there.
Yeah.
And so figuring out ways and taking actions around, this is amazing data that has been collected here. Let's leverage that relationship to how we actually build our strategy moving
Definitely.
forward. So
Yes.
that obviously shows there's opportunity.
So we're relevant.
Yeah.
Just the tactics we're going to be
Exactly.
Great point, Laura.
Thank you for that.
Hi, Judy.
Yes, just building on that, I just want to say from experience in 4 or 5 other organizations, what we found is that building membership requires individuals reaching out to individuals, and not necessarily through social media, but through direct personal connections, because people are bombarded by so much today. Even within AIWA, I have found some of our members don't read the emails that get sent out. So I talk to them and say, oh, I didn't see that. But if I highlight it, they see it, they come to a webinar, they know about it. It's just a function of our lives. So if there are people who care about the issues that we care about, you have to have a one-touch contact and say, you've got to join. Even if you don't read all the emails, you need to support this work and push them to do one thing, which is to join. And if you know that they're that busy and they don't follow things, and they're interested, you can send them specific email when AIWA sends out an alert. Like, for example, the violence prevention webinars. There are people who only find out about it because some individual has told them, not because they get it. They're not members necessarily, but even members don't read everything. So it's going to take an extra effort by those of us who are really committed.
Yes, I agree. That's an amazing point. It's just the personal connection, and that's a responsibility for every single one of us in the same way it is raising money and fundraising, just connecting with people and saying, come with me, or do you know about this? Have you seen this? That makes all the difference.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, Judy Norsigian had a question. David, I don't think we could hear her right. So Judy was saying, very rightfully so, that the personal connections are very important. I mean, people are getting the emails, but sometimes they're not. It's ending up in spam, or not. They don't have time to look at it. So it's very good. I mean, we all need to make an effort to contact our friends at AIWA, tell them about the events, encourage them to join, encourage them to help, donate, and
the other thing I've discovered is that there are many people who have lapsed memberships.
Yes.
So I asked them to check, and I knew they were members once. They're not members now. So this one touch, reach out to people who care, means you check out, even if they were a member, are they a member now? Are there particular issues? If they just can't keep up with emails, let you know that you will tap them when there's something of interest to them.
Yeah.
And even if you take on 5 or 10 people this way, you'll build up the committed membership that will read emails, that will attend, that will continue to join and renew membership every year, because it's really critical that, as someone pointed out, we've got all these people who are interested, but they're not at the next level of commitment with their money and time, which is something we really need.
Yes, very well said. So Judy was saying there's a lot of people who've had lapsed memberships, and we have a whole, this afternoon, by the way, after lunch, the leadership is going to meet, and we're going to talk, that's one big item we want to talk about, is how to reach out to everyone who was a member at one time, encourage them to renew, and help us and grow this organization. We can't do this on our own. It takes a village, and there's a lot of work to do, and every bit helps. Any other questions? Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Well done. Okay, I think we're doing great. Wow, I'm so proud of ourselves. Oof. Okay, so at this point, I want to take a few minutes to say a few words about a couple of board members who are leaving the board at this point. And by the way, thank you so much, Ruth and Eva Medzorian, to join us today. Eva is one of our founders, and we're so lucky to have her here with us today. So at this point, I'd like to invite Silva Hachigian to say a few words about our outgoing board members, and Zara's also going to come join us in a second. Thank you, Silva.
Yes. I'm going to close this again. Is Zara here? Is Zara? All right. You know, while we're waiting, we might as well ask the board members who are here to please just stand up, so you know how many of them unfortunately were not able to come because they were ill. So Alice Petrosian is in the back, just to introduce you all. We've got Tori as our treasurer, we've got Christine from San Francisco on our board, we've got Ani Kharajian, we've got Carolyn Atanesian. I did mention Alice Petrosian, and I have Zara here, and Zara and Zella. I'm not missing anybody else here. Unfortunately, many of our other board members could not be present, and COVID is still among us, so they couldn't make the trip. But thank you very much. Thank you. And we are at a session. Do you have the gifts? We are at a point every year when we have our annual meeting. We have the board organized in such a way that there's always 2 or 3 members who either are up for election, or their term may have expired, or they have other obligations and they might leave. So there is always a rotation. And I say, unfortunately, this year we have 3 of our board members who we've gotten very fond of, who will be leaving the board, and hopefully after their time will be able to join again. But their term has expired and life takes on a different course for them. One such member is Barbara, and Barbara unfortunately could not be with us today because of an illness. Now, I hope she's listening on the live stream, because I actually would like to let her know on behalf of the board that she is AIWA. She is a standing pillar that grounds us. Along with another one of our founding members, Eva Medzorian, and of course Olga Prudian, God rest her soul. They founded AIWA. They organized her, and I call AIWA a her because it embodies all the powerful women who serve on that. So it is a her. So they organized her, they embodied, they made her, they led her, and they made it inclusive and democratic. And they planted the seeds of the ideas, the aspirations, the motivations, and actions to bloom. And Barbara has been instrumental for the past 31 years in doing that. So Barbara, your place in AIWA remains as a lifetime founding member, and it is our hope and desire that you continue to serve AIWA as an honorary advisor. And we thank you for the legacy that you are leaving us. Then we have Ani Kharajian. Ani, when you took the role of presidency of the board of directors, is it 6 years ago? No, although you served many, many years prior to that, along with your dear mother. Little did we know, really, how much of a difference your leadership would make toward AIWA's organization. Your commitment to brand, organization, and leadership set the roadmap, which continues to unfold with vision, goals, to strategy and execution. You raised the bar. You raised the bar with your professionalism and promoted collaboration and teamwork with grace and dignity. And that we cannot forget. We owe Ani a debt of gratitude for guiding us along with her many years of service, investing in the mission, vision, and values of AIWA. Thank you, Ani. Know for sure that we will be calling on you for advice. Ani, would you like to please come up here? We have a tiny little gift for you. These gifts do not in any way represent the amount of years of service, but it's a little token of our appreciation.
Every day.
Turn around, please, to the cameras as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stay around. Stay around. Stay around. I'll get Carolyn up here and we'll have a good picture. Oh, Carolyn. I'm only going by age, not by their, in any way, their service and their value to AIWA. But Carolyn, although her passion is in law, Carolyn has been active in almost every aspect of AIWA throughout her time on the board. Her ability to target funds, balance budgets, edit scripts, point out the discrepancies, manage distributions, co-chair galas and conferences, pay attention to the smallest of details, has been a hands-on, valued, as well as, oh, by the way, as well as giving us counsel and legal advice and raising a beautiful family. Now, she's a rare find. You are hands-on, a valued contributor to AIWA, and I really hope that we will see you return to the board as soon as you finish your parental obligations. So, Carolyn, please come up.
Thank you. Every day.
Yes, we will. We will miss Barbara, Annie, and Carolyn with their input at our meetings.
Say we have a gift for Barbara.
This is for Barbara. Yes, is that the threesome?
Yes,
Trio?
it's the
Okay.
threesome.
If any of you would like to see the gift eventually, the thing is that theirs are single. They're Michael Arams again,
Yes.
but they are single, and Barbara's is a trio with the olive branches, because that's how it started. They started as a trio, so she's one of the trio. So they will be missed, and we are really hoping that you will resume your services on the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Eva. Thank you, Zara.
Come in the middle.
Yeah.
Come right here. Come on. Isn't it? All right.
Well, we made it, right?
You bet. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm 90 and going strong, so if I can do it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for the service. Let me open this. Does anybody need this? She didn't. I asked them if they'd like to say something, but I think, and Carolyn said no, but I think they should.
They should say a few words.
Right. Thanks, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here at the AIWA annual meeting at this beautiful, beautiful facility. Thanks for making it happen, local New England team. I'm very honored to be serving AIWA as a board member, past president, as an active member. You all know the story. I've been in love with AIWA since 1994. And just because we're stepping off the board, we're not done, because the work is not done. We're just getting started. So let's do it. Let's support our women.
So I'll just tell a funny story. So
Olga, God rest her soul, and I used to live in the same condo building when I did just graduate college, and Ani's there now. But one day she comes up to me, we're at the pool, and she runs over and she's like, I know you. I know your mom. She was in London. Do you know AIWA? And I said, I don't know all that much about it, but I had heard, you have to get involved with AIWA. I didn't have kids. I wasn't married. This was at least 15 years ago. So she grabbed me and she said, you have to get involved with New England. So she brought me on, and God rest her soul. She invited me to a luncheon at her home with Eva and Barbara and Olga, and the way she always did everything was like a perfect afternoon tea. And so I have the fondest memories. So I hope that those that are younger, not that I'm so much older, but my hope is really like, as a mom of 2 young children, I really hope this is a place that one day they can grow into, and there's a lot for them. So I think that's our hope. As we've been around a long time, it's time to move on and allow opportunities for.
To give others to
That's
commit,
right.
to share their insights and their knowledge, their treasures, and all their community, right? It's about community.
So,
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well said. Really appreciate all you've done for us. At this point, we have like 7 minutes leeway here and before our main speaker, and I thought I'd like to invite Christine Souza and maybe Laura, if she wants to share their story, the Lucille Apgar story.
Okay, so we thought we would give a very quick update on Lucille Apgar. We received a letter in the height of COVID that looked a little fake. It was on really thin paper. It was clear that it had been written on a typewriter, not a computer. So it looked so fake that it was real. And when we inquired about it, it was real. It was a letter from Lucille Apgar stating that a portion of her estate would be given to the San Francisco affiliate to maintain her legacy. So Laura and I went to Yosemite to visit with her. We spent the whole day there. And then it was incredible, just her leadership, what she shared about her grandmother, Diane Apgar, who, if you don't know, is one of the first female diplomats in the world who lived in Asia and did remarkable things. Once she passed away, we received a letter and a copy of her wishes from an attorney. Laura and I actually had probate summons from the judge. And Lucille was so touched that Laura and I spent the afternoon with her. She has decided to basically give 100% of all residual components of her estate to AIWA. So that includes...
And this just, I need to make sure, this was unbeknownst to us. This was not a request. This was purely Christine and I sitting with our sister and having a beautiful afternoon and conversation. So I want to make sure that that's abundantly clear. This was completely unbeknownst to us. I'm getting goosebumps again, just thinking about what happened. And I mean, imagine our reaction when we received the news.
And I think it's important to note, since we have one of the founders here, right, it's a testament to the founders of AIWA and how now we have the opportunity to continue the legacy of the family of one of the original first diplomats in the whole world. So it's so appropriate that it would be on AIWA, the members, the affiliates, to continue that. So tactically, just very quickly, her property in Mariposa County, Yosemite, was for sale. An offer has been accepted over asking price. So once the escrow closes after her, where are my finance people? What's that word? Estate. The E word.
Escrow?
No, whatever her debts are that we'll get taken care of. So we'll get the components from the sale. There's also two other components. She had quite a collection of art. So we're gonna do a live in-person auction with her art components, which are impressive. There's also, as of today, portions of the smaller items are gonna be on an eBay page for anyone to get, and we can ship those worldwide.
And so we highly recommend if you guys can go and support, because then the money will actually be going also to AIWA with the proceeds that are all sold via this website.
So I don't know if this is gonna work, Lily. We have a couple of videos from when Laura and I met with her.
And then we'll do a quick bio break.
Well, let's see if we can make it work.
So she was a very, very spunky lady. And you'll see in this video.
Laura and Christine, did she have any specific requests?
Mm-hmm.
You'll actually see.
She's hilarious, and she gifted herself half of a cigarette every night and a glass of wine, and she lived to be, I think, 94.
So it's okay to have that glass of wine, ladies.
But she's a lovely, lovely, lovely soul. And what we also wanted to do was, she has a lot of history from her grandmother, and the original stamp. So we're hoping that there's a way to maybe have a showcase in a museum somewhere. It's very, very impressive.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. This is all real time. It's good.
I need a verification process. Let me get my phone real quick.
Are there any questions while we try to get it work? I think this is a really big deal, and I think as leaders of the organization, when we're talking about donations and memberships, estates is definitely a way to maintain family legacies beyond scholarships, but it's really, really precious.
When do you think the items are going to be posted?
So some of them, it's all happening now. We have an auction person who's there, so he started posting yesterday. I think 60 items were just added 10 minutes ago. And then the bigger pieces, the art pieces, we're gonna do an event, and everyone is invited to come. But she's got pieces from Marash, like original needlework. There's beautiful art pieces from Asia that they collected in their travels. She lived in Japan and tells stories about how they lived in concentration camps in Japan. So there's very few to no photos of her from when she was a child. So it's goosebumps all around. The good thing is components of her estate are across all price points. So there are some things on the eBay page that are $30, and then some of her more treasured art pieces will probably go for a few thousand.
So I'm going to really quickly, it's not going to stream because it's too big of a file, but I just want you to hear her voice and what she said.
Yeah, which was pretty bad. And I don't want that to happen to other people. They've got to learn their place, you know. The women have to know their place, and the husbands have to know their place.
So we were saying earlier that essentially you'd like for any, future things to go towards women in business, right?
Women in business, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. We're going to support them.
What I want to see.
Done.
Yeah.
Anything specific?
No.
Any type of business?
Any type, except running a brothel, for crying out loud.
No brothels. She had this fire in her, and I have to say that Christine and I left super overjoyed, touched, and super grateful. And so I hope this is an example of the level of impact our organization has, and what we can continue to do in our future. So thank you. Bathroom break.
So our keynote speaker is a superwoman. She's an entrepreneur. She's a private equity investor. She's an author. She's a speaker, angel investor, on and on and on. Okay, and there's a lot of detail on her in your agenda, so feel free to read it. But for us, one of the most important things that she does is she leads our United Nations effort, and she's on the team on the status of women. And she's been an AIWA United Nations representative for the past year. She's done an amazing job. She's led several webinars with us very successfully. We're very lucky to have her among us, our midst today. And I'd like her to invite her, and we're going to have plenty of time for a Q&A. So Emma Arakelian, please join us. Thank you.
I love to see the man in the back. Welcome. Among them is my husband, Tiran. Thank you so much for being here. And we were actually talking about my speech while we were driving from New York. What to say, what not to say, and how to say. So part of my speech is his thought process as well. And that's what we need. Because changing the world is going to be done not only by women, it's going to be done by men and women. With our collective partnership, understanding, perfect negotiations, which we are really good at, so let's use all of it. I am thrilled to be here today. I made it all the way from Yerevan, because I was traveling there for a business, which there was a very important kick there. I'm going to finish that with that highlight of what was done just last week in Armenia. But I made sure I'm present today. It is a big message on behalf of women from Armenia, from Southeast, because I was there just a month ago, Manila, Philippines. It's a big message from Europe. I spent many years there. And a big message from North America, South America. Women, we need to understand cultures are different. But when you put your aim, it doesn't matter what culture was there. You just unite, understand each other, and a magic can happen. All my entire life, the journey that I had as a professional, as Emma, as mother, as sister, as daughter, and as a colleague, as a partner, the culture was to understand, but then unite to make things impossible possible. So let's go through that journey. What the heck I did during that journey. Before I do that, I have a small Oscar thank you moment for all of you sitting here and all the women, men that I had the pleasure to work with. As usual, Oscar thank you has to be read, not to miss anybody. So, why am I standing here? I'm here to share my journey, share my story, share my inspiration of how much each of us can do and how much more each of us can do when we unite with men and women together. I started my storytelling by thanking everyone in my life who were directly and indirectly connected and were part of my journey. The reason I'm standing here is the aim, drive, energy, and knowledge I put in my past 3 decades to build connections, relationships, and partnerships. Those relationships were the foundation for me to learn, to grow, and then to lead. And this will be the theme of my speech today, how every woman from any country, from any location, from any culture, can pave their life and their professional journey, their personal life, by building relationships and partnerships. Building network is the key to any success, to any plan to execute. So let's move on to who am I thanking? Well, I'll start with my dear friends, AIWA, sitting here, and somewhere in the US and other parts of the country, other countries. So thank you, AIWA leadership. Thank you, AIWA UN team. Thank you, my family, especially my husband, who is sitting in the back, my daughters, my son-in-law, my family, my parents, my relatives in Yerevan, all the way from Yerevan to New York and to Los Angeles and other parts of the planet. I want to thank my colleagues of Orion Worldwide Innovations, my company, and then BAJ Accelerator, that's the innovation center making phenomenal changes and progress for entrepreneurs globally. I want to thank all my partners from all over the world. I had a chance to work in 46 countries. I had the blessing to work with 155 countries remotely. So the world is dear to me, and I see it as one big planet. I want to thank my technology partners, my venture capitalists, the banking executives, the lawyers, universities, foundations, associations, and businesses in all industries. I had a blessing to do this work worldwide and with so many great people and so many, actually, people who were challenging, but I thank them too, because they helped me to move faster. I want to thank my teachers, my professors, my mentees, and my students. The list is long. Would you imagine if I put them into names? That's the network, that's the partnership, that's the relationships you have to have side by side and in your back. And that's how then you move on to think about legacy, because all these people are connected. So how did I start? I was born in Armenia. I had my education in economics. I was an economist for a while. And then I moved to New York in early 90s, and then decided to join the task force that is the fast-growing, high-paid industry. No surprise, technology was the one. So I started my career as an entrepreneur, joined NYU as a professor assistant, took some courses as well, and then I started my journey. The journey was phenomenally difficult, but that was the beauty. Why? I learned early in my career to enjoy the journey, to have fun while you're fixing most difficult problems related to business, related to your family, related to your finance. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the ride, no matter how difficult it is. And the outcome is amazing, because when you enjoy, you become more creative. You become more thick-skinned. You can handle any feedback. And I also learned down the road that any feedback, especially the complaint, especially the negative feedback, is a gift. I take that gift with a big smile because they are helping me to make my plan better. I may not think about things that others do, but that's the input I need to have my plan more perfect. So please engage, even enjoy, even celebrate when people give you negative feedback or they tell you you cannot do that. So I mastered to say, tell me why. They answer. I said, tell me why. I went like 3-4 layers down, and I said, wow, there was this risk I didn't know about, so I'm going to include it in my plan. I call it risk management plan, risk mitigation plan, and include it down my journey. For example, you see the mountain far, and you plan to go to that mountain and then rise that mountain. The journey seems very different from far until you go into the stones and rivers you didn't expect to have. Now you have two choices. You get angry that there are more stones than you expected, or you take a picture of that stone sitting on it and showing it to the world. Or there is this river you didn't expect. Instead, you take a special, like sit down and listen to the river noise and enjoy it, or complain that this river was not on my plan. In my book, which is the screen, where is the screen? What do I do? Yeah, while you do that.
Is it disconnected? The computer itself went black.
Okay, we may have a power issue. Oh, there you go. Thank you so much.
It's not showing. It's been.
It showed for a second and then it, no, it's gone.
Okay, technical issues. I can get frustrated now. This is a perfect example. Do I do what I say or I just say it? So I'm enjoying this part because I got so much help. Thank you so much. Hopefully it will come back. However, you can actually type mrakelian.com. You get the screen, you get all the details. You have a lot of advice there, how to become more inclusive leader, how to become more responsible leader. So that's my website, which is my personal website that I dedicated to my book, to my coaching and leadership sessions that I do with people. There you can find also the blog of like about 50 plus articles how to actually take that journey. Some of the things that I'm saying, it's there. So if you're gonna go deeper, learn more, that will be great. Is my voice double? No? I was gonna say double the power, if that was the case. Okay. So when I started my journey in New York, I knew that I'm gonna have fun. I love the pace of New York like I do today. I love the difficulties of New York like I do today. So I joined one of the big four accounting firms that became almost my family. So I spent 22 years in corporate America and another 2 years with another corporate company. So as in a leadership, as a partner in Ernst & Young and in Accenture. Now, I was able to get to all the way to the top leadership because on the plane when I was coming to New York from Yerevan, from Moscow, by the way, that was one of the last Pan Am flights, just to make the history. I made a pledge to myself. In a couple of years, I'm gonna be a person at this level, and I wrote it down. After 10 years, I'm gonna be at this level, wrote it down. And after I make some progress in what I planned, I'm gonna make an impact for Armenia. That date was 2014. It took me 20 plus years. To get there, but I always had that in my goals. I had goals to get promoted, I had goals to have kids, I had goals to get my kids to best schools, to be with my family, take care of my family. I had all the goals to have travel the world, have great vacation. All of that was in place. But as a red line, as a silver line in my entire life, I had that goal that one day I'm going to become someone with the proper knowledge and experience and be able to make a difference in my country. It's been now 7 years, so much has happened. Probably 80 or 90 plus projects have been taken place. You can check it on my website, orionY.com, it's all there. But then, it's interesting. I felt I've done enough, but the more you do, the more is happening. Now, you know what we are talking about? Not only innovation that I'm doing, and we're breeding unicorns in my accelerator, not only we are helping to create strong companies that make worldwide impact, Armenian and non-Armenian. As a matter of fact, we were in Philippines, we got some presence from there too. You may ask, why am I doing this? Why all of a sudden Armenia plus that plus that? Remember how I started? Partnership. Alone we can be great, especially Armenia. We are not that big country. So how would we become the voice? Or how we become present in important meetings that they are making decisions for Armenia or for other countries? Well, when we were in Philippines, in the meetings, they were actually saying, well, we are a small country. I was actually surprised. I said, how could you be a small country when you are 120 million people? They said, well, compare us to China and India, we are a small country. And now, here is the theme for you. If we partner, we create strong business relationships, we do import-export, we understand each other's cultures much closer. If we do that with China and India, and I'm going to add Philippines and Indonesia together, we will have 42% of the planet working with us. Make this kind of actually interesting, strange decision, like conclusions. So all partnerships are important. We didn't do well as Armenians building partnerships. We were very upset when we didn't get any reaction because we did not have those business, we did not have those educational, export-import relationships. They wanted to care in some nations. They just didn't know how. Do we want just money, or we just want the advocacy? They don't know our culture to be advocates for us. I will also talk about digital Julfa. That's at the end. But in leadership, what's in it for women sitting in this room? I think the message is the following. Connect, make networks as much as you can. Actually, even engage in places that you never thought of. Why? Because now we live in the technology space. Connection is easy. Nobody can say, I don't know this person. You can actually find that person, approach that person. 90% people are very open to engage. So please do that. And the impact is enormous. I was able to approach people that I thought I would never be able to go to them. And the impact was so big, it took time, but here is the kick of the story, what has happened last week in Yerevan. A multi-billion-dollar real estate mogul with innovation mind, because he got very rich because of his innovative nature and created a company that got billion-dollar, multi-billion. That person wants to disrupt real estate industry globally. Through my other connections that I made 3 years ago, invited a couple of people to WCIT in Yerevan. They approached me just 3 weeks ago, said, Emma, would Armenia be the right country for blockchain technology solution development? Yes. I said, hell yes. They are, as of today, signing the contracts, establishing a company in Yerevan. Now, while we think it's just business or it's innovation, it's technology, I'm going to add the most important component of this change or this endeavor, advocacy. This person has access to all Fortune 500 CEOs a message away, a phone call away. If he puts money in Armenia, Yerevan, if something happens to Armenia, Yerevan, he's the first one to call White House, all the CEOs, and say, you can't do that. I'm invested in that country. This is the advocacy, ladies and gentlemen, we want to build, which will give us some security, which will give us voice, and many years from now, we will be able to get the Armenia map. It's in my postings, find it in Facebook and in LinkedIn. The Versailles Peace Conference in 1919, that's the map, as a matter of fact, that President Wilson of US used it for the negotiations. So we need to bring that Armenia back, but we can do it only with partnerships, relationships, building businesses, engaging them. Not only they help us, we need to find a way how we can help them. So once you have that relationship two-way, we will be able to get there. We don't have to be a big number nation. We just need to be able to build right relationships. So AIWA ladies and gentlemen, I just love saying that. Next time, bring your friends too. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the breaking point of how much we can do, and the reality shows us that even more so now, we have to be more active. The wars are happening, I usually say, based on all the knowledge I have in economics, in economics and history and so forth. Wars are failed negotiations. That's it. They couldn't come to an agreement for different reasons. So we need more women at those tables to settle. We need more women with a strong voice of understanding the impact of those decisions. In my book, I have a special chapter talking about decision-making process. You make decisions thinking about what's good for me, for my family, for my relatives, for my community, for my country, for countries, if you represent several, because of where you grew up and where you live now, for the region, for the planet. When you make any decision, just go through this thinking process, and that's how you know what's the impact of your decision. Now, that is not happening, otherwise we wouldn't have so many wars and so many unresolved, unfair situations in many parts on this planet. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't think just doing one small project is enough. It's not. Think of it as it's the beginning of many, and embrace any invitation. More so, if you are not invited, by all means, invite yourself. Seriously. Nobody should say, I didn't know or I was not invited. I don't take that answer. I said, invite yourself. I've done it for so many years. That already became like a brand. Like, Emma, you weren't there, maybe you couldn't do it. instead of saying were you invited or not. So that is never a question should come to me. If it does, I missed something or I misrepresented myself. So if you want to be somewhere, invite yourself. Find way to get in. And then when you show up, that's the biggest difference you can make. So be there, engage more, do more. It's never enough. Now, Digital Julfa, it is the history that we are re-establishing, bringing back. Armenians had these 300 years of power in everything, in advocacy, in trade, in hotel industry, in oil industry, in literature, schools. Lazarian School is as a result. All these rich people that created so much wealth by the mid of 19th century, starting from 16th century, and it was called New Julfa. New Julfa was dominating from Amsterdam to Manila. Even to date, when you go, they know more about Armenians' impact than we do. So dig into the history, learn more, because we want to bring that back. We are not creating something new, we are reestablishing, reinstating, standing up. That means we build the trade power that they created throughout the region. Now, because of the transportation, new technologies, all these opportunities, the planes, the trains, and not only horses, also the cars, we called it Digital Julfa, which means global. So we want to understand how Armenians that have been building so many great individuals, so many great scholars, so many great technology present, engineers, doctors, we are all over and we have so many innovations. You all know that. If you just Google and find out. That means we have the power, we have the meat. All we have to do is process it, do something with it. Great news to share with you. That process has started as of last November. This January we formalized it. So we are engaging networks of Armenians in science, technology, trade, banking, legal, all attorneys in all disciplines. We are engaging also governments, our ambassadors who are actually there, but they could do more to connect all these bright brains. And we are going to build think tanks. US policies, US government is running on think tanks. If you didn't know, you should. So we are building the think tanks, not only building think tanks, creating the connections with all existing think tanks in Switzerland, in London, in Washington, D.C., and in all the other countries where we know they exist. With that, we are claiming presence, we are claiming relationships, we are claiming partnership, and we are claiming advocacy from all of those. The journey started. The next conference about this, our conferences about this are happening in Venice. No surprise, Lazarian Cemaran was a result of New Julfa effort or initiatives or presence. So in Venice, in Lazarian Cemaran, there is going to be 150 scholars from 16 countries in 30 disciplines connecting together, planning how they move forward as a think tank globally. Everywhere that there is a think tank, they are in. Presenting Armenia, presenting our history properly. So with this type of people being in global presence, that means we don't have any problem to say this is Armenia map, because those scholars are in all these areas speaking, bringing Armenia presence. So it's so powerful, it actually then results in business relationships, results in policy making, results in import-export relationships. So it's actually start of putting our seeds in every country as a partner, not as going to ask for help or saying, why didn't you recognize us? Or why didn't you say something when we were being genocide early in 20th century and nowadays? So we need to bring back that power, and Armenian women globally, you have a big role. Reach out to me. The June 27th is the Venice meeting. If you know any scholars that are international big players, let us know. They should be in that group. If you know top lawyers everywhere, we're going to build the lawyers group. So let's create your network power, connect to the other network power. So that's one action that I'm going to ask you. The second one is actively connecting with lawyers moving forward to make more changes in Armenia in any space. I've started that in intellectual property, success. I started it 3 years ago. I started it for the corporate Armenia laws, the LLC structure. Why we're doing it? Because we want it, and we still want to make Armenia as the Delaware in that region. Everybody comes to build their company in Armenia because we're going to create proper corporate LLC structures and actually secure. So now with all these scholars and lawyers and this kind of legal structure, can you imagine what can happen? We rise, we grow, we create not only richness, wealth. Wealth in Armenian, which is amazing. It translates bareketsutsun, which means quality of life. Which you need to have enough money to create that. But in having money and not creating bareketsutsun, wealth, is actually the next important step. So now, why I wanted to show you that screen, which disappeared again, marakilan.com, just check the whole thing. We as leaders, once we go through the journey of being a young professional, mid-level management professional, leader, director, and all that, then you become a leader that needs to prepare other leaders. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of our goals of AIWA should be, who is replacing us? Who is our successor? It's a big message. We can do a great job, but if we don't prepare replacement, all the great job can continue, but then it will not be sustainable. In the UN, we know everything they're calling about sustainability. So the message to all ladies, I'm going to actually challenge you. Do you have 10 people who would continue your job? Not 1, not 2, not 3, 10. So make that list. Who is your successor in different things that you do? When I left EY, you know how many roles I transferred? 24. And I made sure not even a single, even small effort would be let down. I wanted everything to continue. Why? Because I put my heart, I put my time, I put my effort and love to create something. So I made sure nothing is stopped when I leave. And after I left, every month for 6 months in a row, I had small lunches and dinners and breakfast or Zoom, whatever the case was, to make sure that they know how to continue. So please, ladies, I was very impressed by all of the ladies that have done so much great job in the past 10, 20, 30 years. The key is great job. Who is your successor? We need to have that list, and we need to teach that to our kids as well. Whatever you do, make sure it's sustained. It continues to exist. Now, as leaders, there are some qualifications that I made sure that all the people who want to call themselves leaders, that they have not one characteristic, charisma, it's great, but it's not enough. Are you a responsible leader? Like, are you responsible for your decisions? Are you accountable? Are you responding to what the result was created? Are you accountable if something was not right? How did that happen? Are you a humorous leader who is actually able to inspire people to continue what you're asking them to do or doing it together? And of course, more importantly, are you building your business as your family, like your family, which means you care about every single person in your company? And luckily, there are some very good tools, shares, they call them ESOP, employee stock options, they call them benefits. In Armenia, even actually, when you visit, you'll be impressed. Am I on time?
We should wrap it up.
So, to wrap it up, I have a special page. This is like an Oscar page. Why I joined AIWA. So, and I listened to my team. They were doing this email exchange. What's the value? Why you have to do it? And Christine, thank you so much for asking. And Laura and others, like all that chain was like, oh, they're helping me with my speech. So beautiful. Okay, why would you join? And why did I join? Because I was looking for the following: exposure to the leading projects and initiatives that are targeted to women, well-being and their health and their leadership, and access to some new places that they would never think about. Opportunity to lead those initiatives and advance the gender equality. Now, equality doesn't mean we need to just fight for to be equal. I actually want to add equality as let's become partners. Business partners, family partners, it's all about partnership. So the word equality, if I may say, it's kind of old-fashioned. Let's say men and women, let's partner at home, at work, at any situation you're in, on the plane, partnership, which means we do something together versus just claim we are equal. So what, you're equal? What's next? What are you doing with that equality? So let's partner, plan to do something. So equality, great, but then let's build up on it. That goes into everything that I said earlier. You cannot do that if you don't have equality, which we are fighting for. And then I have this phrase that I have, and I wanted to attach to this. My journey, this is about me, was not just break the glass ceiling. My journey was to shatter it. Because if I break it, it's entrance for me only. That's not enough. Absolutely not enough. So let's shatter that, build relationships as partners with men versus complaining that they are not giving us access. We need to build it. It's tough, but it's our job. Sometimes men want to help us, they don't know how. So we need to tell them. For that reason, I would suggest, which I've done at AY for 5 years, there was no women event that I organized that did not have 30% men. Why 30? Because I said, no, it cannot be 50-50 because now you're going to feel comfortable. We want to make you uncomfortable because that's how we feel every day. But then it's not a punishment or anything. It's more like engaging differently with women. So from now on, AIWA and any women event, let's plan to have 30% men present. They will spread the word more than we will. Well, I want to make sure that you have discounts on book purchases and events. It's a financial part. Networking opportunities, participation in annual meetings like this one, and winning by leveraging all your potential and your passion to Armenia, to women globally, and to United Nations women efforts, and of course, our diaspora globally. With that, I want to thank you, and more actions on your list. Looking forward to working with you further.
Thank you so much. This was amazing. So since we're like barely on time, I'm going to propose that we do the Q&A during lunch.
Agree. However, I have one more thing.
Yes, go ahead.
So, to conclude this part of the event, I have a special request to have the following ladies to come to the podium. Naming Silva, please.
Silva.
Ani Karajan. Zila Astarjan. Lili Arslanyan. Milka. And Tamar.
Milka isn't here.
Okay. Well, and Tamar. Is Tamar here?
Yeah, Tamar.
Okay, Tamar is here. So, ladies, because you were organizing, that's how I know because of your emails to me, this and that, I assumed that you are the organizers of this event. For that reason, I want to have my signed book to all of you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And to learn. Thank you so much.
That is very special.
So much. Thanks, Emma.
I love that brilliant smile of yours.
Thank you very much.
And
thank you so much.
Thank you. And you can also get this online, emma@arkelia.com.
Thank you, Emma. My pleasure. And this is for the
Milka.
Milka.
I can take Milka.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very inspiring. Love it. So at this point, Annie's joining me because we have our board results.
Yes.
Right? So thank you. Let us know.
Thank you, Emma. I want to just thank you, and I agree with you 100%. It's about collaboration and partnership. We can't do it alone. And on that note, I am very pleased to let you know that in 1 minute I'm going to announce the board nominees and the successful candidates. As some of you may know, we have 12 board members that serve the AIWA Central Board. They don't live in New England, they're across the US. And each year, we have 6 of them up for election. 6 seats up each year, total number is 12. AIWA has only one board, that's the Central Board, but in the affiliates, there's local leadership, and we have 5 affiliates. So in this 2022 ballot, we had 7 candidates, I can't even count, 7 candidates, and the successful candidates elected by our membership, Emma Arakelian from New York. Congratulations, Emma. Diane Cabral from Pasadena, California, who could not join us today, is serving another term. Tamar Shamasian from Newton, Massachusetts, is joining our board. Lena Hovanesian from Las Vegas, Nevada, was also elected to join to serve a 2-year term. Arsene Phillips, re-elected for a 2nd term. She's from Los Angeles. And Christine Souza, serving another 2-year term from Los Gatos, California. Emma, Diane, Tamar, Lena, Arsene, Christine will be joining the current board that is now in process. Zela Astarjan, who's been our MC today. Milka Bedikian sadly could not join us. She's in Montreal listening to us remotely. Zara Inglesarian, Silva Kachikian, Alice Petrosian, and joining the 6 others. I think I've got it right, Silva, right? Did I miss anyone? Congratulations. Oh, Tori, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Family member, Tori Karajian, serving on the board for another year. Congratulations, board members. Well done. We look forward to all your good work. As you know, Alice and the nominating committee affiliates did a great job of putting candidates forward. And for those who want to serve, please keep AIWA in mind. We'd love to have you on committees and on our board when you're ready. Thank you and congratulations, newly elected board members.
Love it. Thank you. Okay, so I promise we're going to eat in 5 minutes. So at this point, I'd like to invite Alice Petrosian, our board member from California, because, as you know, we organize conferences every 2 years, and we had to cancel our conference 2 years ago due to COVID. So we're planning an Armenia conference in 2023, fall of 2023. Alice is the chair of the conference committee, and she would like to take 5 minutes or something like that, Alice? I don't know. Shouldn't be too long. And then we're going to eat. So thank you, Alice.
Thank you so much. What a joy that we're going to be going to the homeland at a time where you just heard Emma encourage us to think about investing and making our homeland much better than it has been in the past. So why not AIWA having a role in all of this? So at your tables, we're going to do an activity. Will you help us out, please? Someone take notes. Zella and I are going to be in Hayastan, and I believe Zara is also in May. Is there anyone else that's going to Hayastan this May, like in a few days? All right. We're going to start some work on the conference. We're going to do take some initial steps. So we'd like you to have input. Last time, we had complaints that we didn't take membership input. And I hope each of you with your affiliates will do the same. So the first question that I'd like to ask you, this is for 2023. At your tables, will you discuss what month would you like the conference to be? How many days you would like the formal official conference to last? And what locations would you like to see and what topics? So let me share this again. Month, how long, what locations in Hayastan, and what are the critical topics? Now, Laura and I had this evening of just brainstorming, and we came up with way too many topics, as only we can do, because we both talked about bringing this into a focus. What we'd like to ask you also to consider is not coming to Yerevan for something like 5 days. Nobody does Armenia in 5 days. That's a joke. So plan on a much longer stay. We'll take you for a month, but 10 days would be fine. And what we'd like to talk about is a pre-conference and a post-conference. So would you start talking right now to each other? Can you repeat the question? Sure. What month? How many days? What locations? And what topics?
Okay, so they'll report back to us later? Should we let them have lunch? Yes. How about we have lunch and maybe in half hour, each table can have somebody come up and report back? How does that sound? Good? Okay. Lunch is open. This is the end of our live stream officially. So lunch is open. Thank you everyone for joining us. And we hope to see you next year at our annual meeting and conference in 2023.